In the realms of Greek and Roman mythology, a harpy, also known as a half-human, half-bird creature, was often referred to as the Hound of Zeus. These were the embodiment of stormy wind demons, and they were under Zeus's command, ready to be dispatched during tempests to carry out his will. If someone or something went missing, the Harpies were usually the ones to blame. Typically, they were depicted as birds with the heads of women, gone from hunger, and with sharp talons on their hands. Roman and Etruscan writers described their grotesqueness in pottery art, portraying them as human vultures. In the ancient Greek world, the Harpies were sent by the gods, namely Zeus, Hera, and Athena, to punish those who had incurred their wrath. They were under Zeus's dominion and were often called the Hounds of Zeus. The Harpies were considered harbingers of misfortune, as they could come with the gods, destroy property, and wreak havoc on people's lives. They were perpetually famished and would steal food or devour their victims before carrying them away. If a person or object vanished without a trace, it was commonly believed that a harpy had taken them away with their sharp talons, as per Hesiod. In his Theogony, the Harpies are described as daughters of Thaumas, the son of the sea god Nereus and the Oceanid Electra. They are also sisters of Iris, the personification of the rainbow, and a messenger of the Olympian gods. The Harpies are most famously associated with the tale of King Phineus in King Phineus myth. King Phineus was the king of Thrace who had offended the gods. In the most famous version of the myth, after his first wife died, he remarried and, in his eagerness to make his new bride happy, he allowed her to torture his children. In other versions, King Phineus was given the gift of prophecy but angered the gods by revealing their secrets. As punishment, Phineus was blinded, and the gods sent the Harpies to torment him. They prevented him from eating by constantly snatching his food or spoiling it with their foul stench. Consequently, Phineus never got enough to eat and began to waste away. He was eventually rescued by Jason and the Argonauts, who had stopped in Thrace during their quest for the Golden Fleece. The brothers of Phineus's first wife wanted to kill the Harpies, but their sister Iris persuaded the Argonauts to spare them. If they promised to stay away from King Phineus, the Harpies were then banished to the Strophades Islands and the Iron Sea. In the Aeneid, a Trojan hero and the son of the goddess Aphrodite, Aeneas, after the Trojan War ended and Troy was destroyed, received a prophecy that he would found a great city. He traveled far and wide, ending up in the Strophades Islands, where the Harpies were living at the time. Aeneas and his men hunted some goats for food, but as they sat down to enjoy their feast, the Harpies swooped down, grabbed their food, and scattered their stinking filth. Aeneas and his men moved to another spot, but the same thing happened. Aeneas ordered his men to fight the Harpies, but their weapons could not harm them. The leader of the Harpies told the men that they would suffer terrible hunger if they tried to kill her and her sisters, and they traveled to find a city until they had grown so hungry that they had eaten their tables. After Aeneas and his men had arrived in Italy, they became so hungry that they began to eat the bread plates that they had been served a meal on. They realized that these plates were the tables that the leader of the Harpies had spoken of. The Harpy Porphyrion mated with the west wind, Zephyrus, and bore the magical and immortal horses, Xanthus and Balius. Xanthus and Balius ran like the wind and pulled the chariot of Achilles. During the Trojan War, the gods gave the magical horses as a wedding gift to Peleus, king of the Myrmidons, and a hero in Greek mythology, when he married the sea goddess Thetis. The horses were then given to their son Achilles when he went to fight in Troy. Today, the term harpy can sometimes be used to describe a nagging woman. However, the Harpies can also be viewed as strong female characters who represent male fears about female power and who are ultimately a symbol of the feminist movement. Harpies are associated with both vultures and eagles, lending their name to one of the largest and most awe-inspiring eagle species, the harpy eagle. Much like the mythological Harpies, the harpy eagle swoops down seemingly out of thin air to snatch up its prey in its talons. A creature resembling a harpy can also be seen on the coat of arms of the European Principality of Liechtenstein, where the half-woman, half-bird creature is referred to as a Bolchen eagle.